Hi everyone, my name is Cade. I'm the composer of a symphonic metal opera called Valcata. I encourage you to check us out. I'll leave some links down below in the subscription where you can listen to our stuff. I'd love for you to check us out and let me know what you think. Moving on, this is going to be a reaction/review video of Delain's new album, Apocalypse and Chill. So to be completely honest, the reason I think that this is going to be an interesting video is because I'm not the biggest fan of Delain. I used to listen to them quite a lot, their first two albums, Lucidity and April Rain. From then on, I couldn't even tell you the names of their albums. I think what happened was maybe the album that came after April Rain, maybe it didn't do much for me, and then since then I really haven't paid them much attention. So it will be interesting to hear this because I'm not really familiar with where their sound has gone, and this album artwork looks very interesting. I hope it's an indication that there's some weird stuff on it. I don't know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to each song one by one. I'm not going to actually play the song in this video. I'm just gonna cut and then move straight to my reaction after I've heard each song. So it looks like we have 13 songs here. It's gonna be an epic one. I'm excited. So without further ado, let's try this first song, 1 second. Okay, so I've just heard 1 second. So that was interesting. I feel like they have a very mainstream sound. Now, the album title Apocalypse and Chill is certainly fitting with this song because the vibe of the song is actually very relaxed and chill. Like even at the very end when there was a heavy breakdown, it was this kind of airy, like interesting, just relaxed vibe. There was nothing very intense about it. I didn't mind the song. I didn't mind it. I thought it was catchy. It was a catchy, cute song. I generally do prefer stuff a little more intense, but I can see that that's not what they're going for here at all. They're going for like a chill vibe. They had a male singer on it, and I don't know who he is. I don't know if he's a guest singer. Again, I haven't listened to them in so long, but he gave me like, I hate to say this, but he gave me kind of like Fall Out Boy vibes. But he's a great singer, but I guess the rhythm of the chorus and stuff, it reminded me a little bit of like Fall Out Boy, this kind of punky pop, I guess. Definitely a catchy song. Again, not my cup of tea exactly, although I did really enjoy the breakdown. I thought the breakdown was cool, and the solo was awesome. The solo was quite impressive actually, very difficult to play from what I can tell. I'm not a guitarist, but it sounded quite, shreddy. Okay, interesting. Let's try We Had Everything. I just heard We Had Everything, and I have to say I really like this song. It's clear to me that they're really owning the Apocalypse and Chill title, because this song, it went even further into the sort of chill EDM vibes. The vocals, the way Charlotte was singing, it reminded me of Britney Spears at some points, and I don't mean that as a bad thing because I actually like Britney Spears a lot. Her style of singing in this song, it was sort of reminiscent of the Britney Spears Blackout album, and just the whole vibe of this song was very cool. Even though it was very dance influenced, you could hear like the emotion and the melodies. Her vocals really were very, very nice in the song, and I can tell that they're really going more towards chill than apocalypse so far, and I actually don't mind that because it makes this album seem more unique. What I might not have liked about maybe some of their previous stuff that I listened to and didn't like is that it was like metal and chill, and there was no extreme of one or the other, and therefore for me maybe some of it created a sort of middle of the road feeling where I felt indifferent. But this is obviously very intent on creating this very chill but dark vibe, and I'm all about that. So We Had Everything, very good. I liked it a lot. The one thing I will say is that little breakdown at the end felt a little bit out of place, but that's a very minor thing, to be honest. So let's go for number 3, Chemical Redemption. So Chemical Redemption is another really great song. I really like the chorus. I like the riff at the beginning. I like the inclusion of the choir and orchestra, bringing back some of the old Delain, but still keeping this apocalypse and chill vibe. I'm really into the apocalypse and chill vibe. Like Charlotte's vocals are so serene and haunting and laid back, and the way they're incorporated into the production with lots of reverb creates a really nice feeling, which makes this record so far seem quite memorable to me, which is not what I expected, but something I'm very happy about. So far, I'm really liking it, and I can definitely see myself listening to this record more. Burning Bridges. This song is pretty epic. It's a great, epic, reasonably straightforward symphonic metal song. There was a lot of intense, heavy moments with the choir and orchestra that I enjoyed quite a bit in this song. I thought the verses were cool. Charlotte's vocals are excellent. She goes a little more extreme. She uses her very high belting chest voice very impressively in the song. However, the chorus I think is a little weak. Maybe it was the lyrics or something. I can't really pinpoint what it was, but it just didn't. I guess it's probably just personal taste, but for me the chorus just didn't have the impact that the rest of the song had, despite Charlotte's amazing vocals. I'm not complaining about her vocals, it's more, I don't know, just the melody of the chorus I thought wasn't punchy. I think it was the lyrics of the chorus as well that didn't help it. It seemed a little bit obvious or something. You know, burn your bridges down, burn them to the ground. It's, I guess, not as poetic as I would like for such an anthemic chorus, you know, but it is what it is. So Vengeance is also a really cool song. This was kind of more traditional power metal style, where the guitars are not so down-tuned, but there's a lot of nice guitar work and licks and melodies that the guitars are doing, which I really like. So there's really good guitar work on this song. I was reminded a little bit of Sonata Arctica's style, where it's like really melodic, but still kind of upbeat. The chorus was pretty good, but what I really liked about it was that the chorus only appears twice, and then the song finishes with an extended outro, and that outro was really beautiful. There was kind of this rising heavenly feeling, and then the male singer's vocals towards the end were super epic. So this is a great song, one of the stronger ones so far, I think. The next song is To Live Is To Die. To Live Is To Die got me right away with that fun groove at the beginning. I couldn't help but do a little dance. Yeah, this song was fun. It was kind of like a quick little fun jingle thrown in the middle to, even though it's quite heavy, it felt like a light song. It kind of leaned more towards heavy industrial dance. I do think there were some parts that maybe the song could have done without. That extended choir part in the middle dragged on a little bit. It felt out of place only because the chorus was so catchy and punchy, and the initial groove, the riff was so fun that the extended choir part, I guess while it offered a nice contrast, it's too typical to what I expect from Delain, you know? So in that sense, I suppose it fits, but in the other sense, that's the kind of thing that will make me kind of drift off, like stop paying attention. But overall, I liked this one. It wasn't the strongest one of the album, but it was fun nevertheless, and it'll probably grow on me. Let's Dance is the next one. Interesting title. Let's see. Let's Dance, to me, is by quite a margin the worst song on the album so far. It had a lot of cool individual parts, but because the mood of each of the different parts was so different, the overall effect is actually quite a boring one. This song was kind of a sleepy face emoji, if you will. The chorus I didn't like at all, but I did like the verses, and I liked the sort of the middle section where there were some cool guitar riffs and stuff. But overall, I think they should have left this one off the album, because this one sort of ruins the good momentum that the album had going for it. 13 songs is a lot, so I think when an album has that many songs, you can definitely afford to lose some, and this one is a dud. You need to get rid of it. Next song is Creatures. So Creatures, as you can see, again, the initial riff made me groove, couldn't resist. This might be my favorite song on the album so far. This song was sick. It was really cool. Lots of really cool parts to it. The overall atmosphere was quite gothic, yet it combined that with some like interesting electronic effects on Charlotte's voice. It sounded quite extraterrestrial. It reminded me really of the Katy Perry song E.T. Not the melody necessarily, but kind of the overall atmosphere. And just the guitar riffs were really nice. And the overall melody, the overall atmosphere, everything. I thought this song was quite perfect. So big thumbs up. I think this is my favorite one so far. Ghosthouse Heart is the song I just heard. And this song was okay. It was a sort of slower ballad-esque song. There were some nice melodies in it, pleasant enough, but I did think it was a little uninspired and quite filler. There wasn't really a build-up to anything, it didn't really go anywhere. The performance was competent and Charlotte's vocals were beautiful, but there didn't really seem to be a song there. As harsh as that may sound, that's just kind of how I feel about it. It's quite short. I do think it was intended as maybe just sort of almost an interlude, really. There's a song coming up called Masters of Destiny, which sounds like it could be quite heavy, so I assume that's what Ghosthouse Heart is intended as, just kind of like a little soft filler and not quite a song in itself, but we'll see. Masters of Destiny is a pretty good track. It reminded me of more early Delain, sort of this ethereal symphonic metal, similar to maybe Sleepwalker's Dream, except that here I was really impressed with Charlotte's vocals. She can obviously belt her heart out, and I really enjoyed that. There were also some really cool guitar parts in this song, and good dynamics in terms of loud and soft. There was a really cool quiet moment. It just happened for a brief second with just Charlotte's vocals and some heavy guitar stings, and I thought that was really impactful. Yeah, just a cool song that created quite a typical Delain epic atmosphere. I will say that at this point in the album, I'm a little disappointed that they've abandoned the whole apocalypse and chill theme, it seems, in terms of how the songs actually sound. The beginning of the album was filled more with a sort of chill atmosphere, and they seem to be abandoning it in terms of some heavier, some more classic Delain, but let's see how these last three songs turn out. So the next one is Legions of the Lost. This song overall was quite strong. It started off really good with an awesome riff. I really liked the verse melodies and the odd rhythm of Charlotte's vocals in the verses. There was a really epic guitar solo somewhere in the middle. A very well constructed song. My only thing is that I do think the chorus was a little weak. Now, I think I keep saying this about some of the choruses on this record, and I'm wondering if Delain's taste in choruses are just not to my taste. I think it seems like when the chorus hits in their songs, sometimes they're taking it more as like a break from the intensity. It goes into more of a chord structure rather than riffs, and the melodies are kind of more drawn out and stuff. Whereas I don't really like that. I like when the choruses keep the intensity going rather than take a break from the intensity. For example, like Amaranth, the most intense parts of their songs are often the choruses, not always, but that would be more to my taste, like sort of punchy choruses rather than relaxed, drawn out choruses. But overall, this is one of the stronger songs for sure. It's just the chorus that didn't do much for me, but I do think we're getting down to personal taste here rather than like an objective criticism of what is good songwriting. So don't get me wrong, I'm just saying that this is my taste, that's all. Okay, I've just heard The Greatest Escape. It did seem to incorporate some of the apocalypse and chill atmospheres and vibes. However, I'm inclined to say that it might be one of the weaker songs. Maybe second weakest to Let's Dance. So I actually kind of liked the chorus on this. I kind of did. But the rest of the song didn't do much for me. I know that there was a nice section at the end with just Charlotte's humming, and a very nice violin. However, I'm asking myself, what was there to make that section really stand out? Because we already got a section like that early on in the album. I think it was Vengeance, right? Where it was like there was two choruses, and then at the end there was like a build-up, a heavenly build-up, let's say. And I feel like they used that structure again for this song, which makes it seem less special, and also just the melody was very nondescript, and it just seemed like traditional chords, and they got a guy to come in and sort of jam on his violin. I'm sorry to say the song didn't do much for me. Even though it sounded pleasant, I don't think it was like a particularly memorable song, and they probably could have dropped this one too. Last song, Combustion. Let's see how we do. Well, that was the last song of the album. Very unexpected, a complete instrumental. I was very pleasantly surprised with how it opened up with a sort of 80s feeling, the guitar solo and the keys. Something about it felt very 80s to me, but I liked it a lot. Then it went into a super fun, crushing riff. And from then on, it was quite a pleasant ride. Even though it was quite heavy in parts, I still felt the chill from Apocalypse and Chill. An interesting choice to close the album on, but still a pretty strong and fun instrumental. I do think it's a weird choice to close the album on, and now that I've heard the album in full, I think maybe they could have done with rearranging these tracks a little bit. Like, if I were to choose a final song to place at the end, it probably would have been Masters of Destiny or Legions of the Lost. Combustion is quite a random choice to just kind of put at the end there. I guess they just didn't know where to put it. And they kind of snuck in The Greatest Escape second to last, hoping we wouldn't notice. But I noticed. Now that I've heard the album in its entirety, I can say that I quite enjoyed it overall. It was fun hearing Delain, a full Delain album again, from start to finish. I haven't done that in a while. And I have to say, I'm quite pleased with where they're at. I do wish that the Apocalypse and Chill theme, that they had focused on that a little more, rather than feeling like they had to appease older fans with typical Delain moments. The songs that I think are the strongest are We Had Everything, Chemical Redemption, Vengeance, and Creatures. On the heels of those songs, I'd say Legions of the Lost. And again, the weakest songs are Let's Dance and The Greatest Escape. Really, I would be very interested to see what your thoughts are on this album. Do you agree with me on some things? Do you think I'm overly harsh? It's quite possible, but I don't intend to be mean or anything when I say negative things about songs. I'm just, because I create music myself, I love getting into the nitty-gritty of why do I like this, why do I not like it, and sharing my thoughts and hearing what you guys have to say about that too. So if you have any other albums or any other singles that you'd like me to react to or review, I would be more than happy to do that. And again, please check out Valkata, the symphonic metal opera that I composed. There's 8 lead singers. I'd love to get your thoughts on that too, your honest thoughts, of course. And again, I'll leave links down below where you can check us out. And that's it for now. Thank you for paying attention, and have a good week. Thanks.